everyone, welcome to today's video all about our chameleons adaptations. Now this really is a where to begin. Chameleons have got so many adaptations. They are incredible animals. So I'm sure we all know the most amazing thing about chameleons is their ability to change the colour of their skin. However, it's a myth that chameleons can change the colour of their skin to suit their surroundings. For example, if you were to put a chessboard pattern behind a chameleon, you wouldn't be able to get the chameleon to change to look like a chessboard. Chameleons can only change to the colours that are naturally found within their skin. So for our chameleon, the colours that he has within his skin are white, yellow, green, blue and red, and a tiny little bit of black. So technically, with the white and the black, you'd think he'd be able to change into a chessboard. However, chameleons only change their colour to reflect their mood, not so much their surroundings. They naturally blend into their surroundings with their natural colour formation. Our chameleon typically goes quite a white colour when he's feeling a bit scared, and he can go a very dark colour when he is unhappy. It's a great way for us to be able to monitor his moods and to be able to change anything that might be upsetting or distressing him. Now, the reason that chameleons can change their colours is quite fascinating. Cookie, I can't put Alexa on now, I'm doing the video. I'll do it in a minute. So chameleons actually have a very thin superficial layer of skin which contains pigments. Underneath this layer they have guanine crystals. Now what they do to change the colour of their skin is they actually change the distance of the crystals, which changes the wavelength of light coming in and hitting the crystals, which changes the colour of their skin. Chameleons also have very unique hands. Their fingers are actually fused together, which almost makes like a claw shape. It's not like a lobster claw where it's an actual two individual things. It's a lot more than that because it's actually fingers and feet. I'll see if we can get a close-up of our chameleon so that you can see the feet. So there's the back foot. You can see on the front, can you see here? You can see the two little claws. Now this foot here is our chameleon's foot that's not very good. You can see he's not very good at using it. So I'm just going to move him back a little bit so he feels a bit safer. So with their forked feet, it helps them to grip and to stay onto branches a little bit easier. They also have their amazing tail. As you can see, our chameleon is perfectly showing off his very cool prehensile tail. We've discussed the word prehensile in our sugar glider video. It means that it effectively acts as another limb. They can use it to grip onto things. You can see here he's got his tail wrapped very tightly around the branch to stop him falling off. He's resting on my hand, but he's not actually gripping with any of his fingers onto my hand. This one he's trying to slightly, but obviously my hand isn't the best surface for him to grip on. So he's pretty much using his, he's got one back foot on as well. He's got a back foot down here that's actually gripping onto a branch, and his tail is gripping onto a branch. However, we have caught him several times just hanging by his tail because this is something that he can do. It helps to stop him falling because if you imagine a chameleon, they like to live quite high up in the trees where it's quite safe. And if they were to fall, they need to make sure, obviously, that they can hold on to something, because if they do fall, that can be very dangerous for a chameleon. We briefly mentioned in our diet video about a chameleon's tongue. Now, a chameleon's tongue is actually 1.5 times the length of its body, which is humongous. It's all curled up inside the back of their mouth, and what they do when they're going to catch food is they shoot that tongue out to catch the food. The tongue actually has a bulbous end to it. It has quite a thick end, and this end is actually quite sticky. So what they do is they use the sticky end, obviously, to catch the insect before pulling it back into their mouth. Their tongue moves incredibly fast when they go to catch their insects, and so this sticky end not only helps them actually catch the insect, but it also helps a little bit with their accuracy. Another amazing thing about chameleons is their eyes. Now, their eyelids are fixed, meaning that they can't move their eyelid, but the eyeball actually rotates within the eyelid. They can actually move their eyes separately, so they can look both forwards and backwards at the same time. They can actually see 360 degrees around them, which is incredible for helping them to protect themselves from predators. They don't actually have any defense mechanism in terms of protecting themselves from predators. Their bite is quite minuscule, it's not very strong at all. They don't have particularly sharp claws, so their only form of defense is to hide. Their eyes allow them to make sure that they are staying safe because they can keep an eye on, for example, food and keep an eye on any predators at the same time. Now, with their eyes, they can also see in UV, just like our parrots. This helps them to see insects and things clearly. It helps them to make sure that they are definitely hidden within their surroundings. It's really incredible what their eyes can do. They're a real asset to them, and they're very unique. So with our chameleon's incredible eyes, they can actually spot an insect from 5 to 10 meters away and be able to see it very, very clearly. That's how good their eyes are. All right. So we hope you have enjoyed the video all about our chameleon's incredible adaptations. Tune in tomorrow to see some enrichment we're going to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.